It's just like what I'm trying to do with this build is I'm trying to make the game more fun while also making it easier to play Flicker Strike, if that makes any sense at all. Hey, what's going on, guys? Great Sword here, and today I'm be showing you guys my updated build, and it's just something really satisfying and easy to get going. Alright, so let's get into it. We are just a basic Ice Strike build, but in reality, I'm using Flicker Strike way more than Ice Strike, and, you know, in the past, I always wanted to play Flicker Strike, but it always seemed, like, really hard to get going, especially with gear. Now it's like super easy to get gear. You know, everyone's rich. You know, it's honestly crazy. So it's also a lot better because of this skill right here, Reaper's Invocation. Absolutely insane. You know, you could just be flicker striking around the map, spamming this button, which is what I do, and just getting power charges, and then when you end your flicker strike, just go right again. So as you've seen in the clips before this build is kind of nuts. Like, it's an insane mapper. It's pretty good bosser. I'd like to say bossing is a little weird. You know, if you're going to do uber bosses, obviously you have to have a gem swap. But for map bossing, which is what I'm generally just doing, it's pretty easy. You just ice strike. If you get into the boss room with power charges, you just insta-kill the boss. It doesn't even matter. But ice strike takes care of it most of the time. Pretty much what I'm going to start off by just talking about, though, is if you feel like your gear is lacking, um, you can definitely take off Wind Dancer and Herald of Ash and use Elemental Conflux just for more damage. And make sure it's qualityed up because you'll just get more % damage for it for free. And obviously just put a Mastery socket on it. This is what I'm running right now because I just have an absurd amount of Spirit. I don't even have Spirit on any of my gear either. It's just insane right now because of how gear is. But Invoker is just absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to go through my gems real quick, and then we'll go to the gear, and then we'll go to the Passer Tree. So we're starting off with Reaper's Invocation. You know, we're going to go Spirit Gems to normal gems. Absolutely insane. You definitely want to quality this up as well. You just use Profane Ritual, Charge Perfusion, Overabundance, Compressed Duration 2, and Balance Energy. By the way, if you don't want to listen to me just talk through all these gems, I got a Mobalytics link down below. Click it, check it out. All of my, literally everything for this build is on that guy. There's just no written stuff, so check it out. Next, we got Herald of Ice. You know, typical Herald of Ice. Cold Attunement, Overreach, LE Armament 2, Deadly Herald, Frozen Spite. I do want to note, I did try the break armor like tech that has been going around with Herald of Ice. It did not really work for me too well. Probably because I just didn't have enough chaos damage. But if you got insane gear and you have all your reses on everything, you don't need one of the reses from one of your rings, you can try out Ming's Heart with that. With the break armor and the armor break explosion thing with Herald of Ice. That shit looks nuts. I saw a couple people doing it. Looks pretty cool. Didn't work for me. I really can't get rid of my rings. Herald of Thunder. We got Lightning Attunement, Mag Area 2, LE Armor 2, LE Focus, Deadly Herald. Notice how much spirit we have. This game is absolutely busted. The fact that we can have this many spirit gems on with 2 deadly heralds, absolutely insane. We also have Herald of Ash. Key thing to note here: Herald of Ash needs to be low level, because if it's high level, you're not gonna be able to use it. I'm already having stat problems. You know, I have Dex in on some of my gear, as you'll see here in a second. But yeah, definitely low level. Don't do a high level and mess yourself all up. Mine's level 11, so might be a good choice for you. I have Mag Area 2, Fire Mastery, and a 3rd Deadly Herald. What is going on, GGG? How much spirit do I have? And you know what's even crazier? I got Wind Dancer. I don't have anything on it. I can put stuff on it. It's not a big deal. It is funny, though, when someone hits me and my Wind Dancer kills everyone because it procs all of these. Pretty hilarious. Just next we're doing Tempest Spell. So this one's a little odd. I'm still trying to work out how I want to get power charges with bosses on maps. So I have Elith's Chimes on it. So the max amount of combo for Tempest Spell is 4, and that would put Elith's Chimes at like a 40% chance if you throw down the bell after 4 combo. It's nice sometimes. It sometimes really does help. You know, you'll just slam down the bell and you'll get 2 power charges and then Flicker Strike and just kill the boss. So it's just like, what I'm trying to do with this build is I'm trying to make the game more fun while also making it easier to play Flicker Strike, if that makes any sense at all. Because I used to see these builds that would just look so scary and like hard to build. It'd be like, you need this node and you need 2 uniques and you need a weapon swap with Profane Ritual to eat all the corpses and yada, yada, yada. And I do have that. You know, I did kill Zesh a couple times doing it. But it's like, this is primarily for mapping, and it is so easy and fun. It's so much fun. Flicker Strike feels so strong right now, especially with the Reaper's Invocation, and it's just so easy to use, man. So let's continue. Close Combat 2, Super Critical, Conk Area, Rage 2. Flicker Strike. Big deal here, guys. Big deal. We need quality at 20% on this. You have to quality this. You need that crit hit chance. You need 100% crit hit chance or close to it with Flicker Strike. Please. It is a big deal. If you do not have, like, within 5% to 100% crit hit, it's going to be... You're going to be hitting, like, not too big. That's why we have Pinpoint Critical, Heft, Conk, Close Combat, and Perpetual Charge. Please have this on. I read like this full nerd guide about it on Reddit. This thing is nuts on Flicker Strike. I don't know how to explain it, but I kind of understand how it works. It's pretty nuts. I have that on it. Ice Strike, super simple, you know, Close Combat 2, Ice Bite, Rapid Attacks 2, Alley Armament 2, Cold Attunement. If you have attack speed on your Quarterstaff, you don't need Rapid Attacks, but whatever. Charge Staff. Now, Charge Staff is actually, like, kind of needed here. It gives you a ton of damage, like, genuinely an insane amount of damage. And, obviously, you know, we're using power charges, so it's just good to have. I am testing out Ambrosia with it, just to see how much more damage I get. I haven't really noticed a big difference, because Flicker Strike kind of just one-shots everything anyway. But it seems cool. So, we got Ambrosia, Alley Armament 2, Lightning Attunement, Innervate, big deal. Culling Strike. So we have Innervate here. Shot, you know, Charge Staff can shock on its own, but we're mainly shocking with Elemental Expression, which we're still using. We have Mana Flare, Shock, Fire Mastery, Freeze, and Efficiency 2. Mana Flare is super cool. It just adds another explosion to all the AoE that we're doing with all of our heralds down here. So, as you can tell, like, we have a shit ton of AoE. We have a shit ton of damage. You know, Elemental Expression is doing a ton of damage. And, yeah, I mean, it just does crazy amounts of damage. Gearing is so easy now. Like, it's insane, man. And I just put out a guide on how to make these quarterstaffs. I just want to say I'm sorry. They were so cheap, literally the day I made the video. And now they're like 25 to 30x a pop. These were like 1 to 5 before, so my bad, guys, my bad. It's a super easy weapon to make, though. You just kind of got to get a little lucky on the perfect transmutant augments, okay? So maybe spending 25 pop ain't too bad, you know? Try it out. Before I get to my full gear, I really just want to talk about my tree. I'm gonna be real. I used to not have these nodes over here, but it has become blatantly obvious that we definitely need these nodes. If you're playing Invoker Monk and you don't have some type of stun threshold or just like insane amount of energy shield, it's gonna be tough for you. I was getting stunned a lot. I was getting surrounded and just dying. These nodes right here, the stun threshold shit and the extra energy shield is very, very key. Like, I don't know. Like, I put these nodes on, and now I'm not being surrounded and dying more than I was, you know? Like, it just seems a lot better. Key thing to note, we are gaining all the benefits of this node now because we have all 3 heralds, which is dope. Because I'm using Wind Dancer, I actually have been thinking about taking these nodes off. I was kind of trying to path up here to get this just for 40% increased damage anytime I crit, because Elemental Expression is a triggered skill or triggered spell, but it is triggered, so you will get the 40% extra damage. So that's what I was going for. But pretty much this is very basic tree. You just want these power charge nodes. Something unique that I'm doing, I'm sure a lot of people are doing. I'm using a From Nothing Diamond for Ancestral Bond, right? And that brings us over here. And we can take this node Storm Charged for a single point. Seemed pretty good to me. 40% increased elemental damage if you crit hit. And that's all I'm doing is critting. And 20% increased crit hit. Shit's insane, honestly. So definitely be doing this if you guys are playing Monk. I don't think this was very expensive when I bought it, but might shoot up. Never know. Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing else to really talk about. This is like the best area for a Time Lost Emerald. If you get a nice Time Lost Emerald, this is the best spot for it. Definitely want to get one. Still using this. It's absolutely insane. This gives you so much evasion. You could take this node as well. Just 20% more increased energy shield. Very, very good. I haven't taken these yet just because I feel like I cannot take another point off of my tree. Especially if I want to do these to get more damage. It just feels like everything is kind of perfect. I could see myself getting rid of these if I finally hit attack speed on this goddamn quarterstaff. I've Omen of Lighted it twice and I keep getting decks. So, you know, maybe one day when I get attack speed, I could take these nodes off. But for right now, it's honestly very good. It's giving us some strength. You know, look at our base stats, dude. Like, this is absurd. GGG, we gotta do something. Cause like, I'm struggling over here, man. Like, I could kind of take some strength out. I can't take any dex out. I'm literally like, I'm just right there, you know? Like, hold on. My Herald of Thunder uses 137 dex. I have 137 dex. It is actually crazy. I also need pretty high int. What is it? 115 for this. And I believe I had something else that was very high in int. Well, I guess I actually don't need that high of int anymore. It was this. When I was using Elemental Conflux, it takes a lot of int. So that's my bad. We can actually take off a little bit of our int. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. But still, please note, my gear has stats. So I have 31 dex here. I did take off my int helmet, but I have 25 dex here as well. So, yeah. But let me talk about the tree a little bit more, and then we'll get to the gear. So, like I said, pretty basic tree. Literally so basic. But the biggest thing is you definitely need crit. You need crit everywhere you can get it. Crit here, crit here. You could take this crit, but it's like not as good as this crit. You know, there's a shit ton of crit hit chance here. I would say stay away from this node, even though it's very good. We don't want any reduced crit hit chance. We need as much crit hit chance as possible. So we take this node up here instead. Usually when you're playing Monk, if you're not playing Flicker, you take this and that. It's nice because, you know, you're getting more crit, and then you're also creating more crit damage bonus. But in our case, we need to crit as much as possible. Here, we're going to go down to, You know, this should all just be basic, you know. You could take either or of these. You could even take meditate, you know, if you want to mess around with meditate. I'm just taking the extra damage. I'm killing everything in one shot with Flicker Strike. It's awesome. You know, elemental expression, probably my favorite thing in the entire game. It's so sick. You know, you crit once, boom, everything flies around. Shit's exploding. It's awesome. But like I said, the only things I feel like I can take out of this tree is this node, maybe these 4 nodes, and these attack speed nodes. And if I were to take those out, you know, I'd look for more damage here. I would maybe look to go up here and get this jewel socket and then get these fizz damage with the strength and crit damage bonus. Those nodes are awesome. I've been trying to get those nodes for a hot minute. You could also just come here and do the chill and the shocked. I mean, we're shocking and we're chilling, and that's a lot of damage right there. So the thing is with this build, it's very flexible, super flexible. You're not stuck into just Flicker Strike. And that's the one thing I love about this, is that most Flicker Strike builds, you're stuck into doing that. You know, you're storm waving, and then you're waiting to get this Reaper's Invocation up. Not in my case, you know. I just go around, bung bung bung. I could use Ice Strike the entire map and be completely fine, but I'm using Flicker Strike just because it's super fun and it clears maps so fast. So, a couple things to note here. My gear is very good. I don't want you to be discouraged by this, but this league is nuts. You can make a ton of money. There's a ton of guides online. Please follow them if you want to make money. You know, if not, just have fun, craft your own gear. It's enjoyable. My gear is quite good though. So we're going to start with the staff. I have a full guide on this. I'm also going to make a short for this later on today. It's pretty nice. The only thing I want to say about it is I used the cold one, the cold perfect essence for the prefix instead of the fizz. I did have a fizz one, but I gave it away to some guy who like was new to the game and was playing monk, and I was like, here, you could just have it, enjoy. Some kid who's super happy, so I was like, fuck it, you know. So I got this for right now. I will craft another one with more fizz and try to get a better suffix other than Dex without paying an arm and a leg, because arm and lights are super expensive. But for right now, it's dope. If I craft another one, I am corrupting one of these. I already corrupted one and bricked it. I can't brick another one. Next, got these gloves. Just crafted these yesterday. They're not perfect by any means, but attack speed plus pretty much what you're looking for in Flicker Strike is you need the plus level to skills. You need it. That is the best way to scale Flicker Strike. So you're going to need plus level to skills on your gloves, on your staff, and on your necklace. My necklace is absolutely cracked. It's fucking insane. If you cannot afford something like this, just the only key things on here that you absolutely need if you're really trying to play Flicker is you need the melee skills and you need the crit hit chance. Everything else is like, it's really great to have, but it is not fully needed, if that makes sense. I also want to talk about, I'm taking Vulgar Methods as an anoint on my my amulet. Just gives us more crit hit chance and strength. Great node for Invoker Monk. We've been taking this since season 0, guys. Okay? So pretty much flat damages, plus level melee skills, attack speed, reses. You just need to get your reses capped, and then after there, get all your flat damages, because that's what we've been doing. Just another ring, just absolutely okay. I almost forgot. This is absolutely needed, guys. You need physical attack damage as mana on something. It could be your quarterstaff, your rings, your gloves. It needs to be on your character. This right here, leech of physical damage, attack damage as mana. You need this. Look at my mana. I did 2 full swings and it's all gone. But because of this, a single node for 6%, I not even max rolled, 6%, but it is tier 1. With this combined with this node right here, Walker of the Winds, you never run out of mana as long as you're hitting an enemy. Never. You will never run out of mana. Okay? So it's kind of a big deal. You need this node. You need that node, and you need this suffix right here on any piece of gear. If you add on 2 pieces of gear, that's fine. But you really only need 1. If you have a tier 1, you only really need it on 1. But like I said, flat damages, res, And you need that leech, 100%, guys. Trust me, you need that. I just crafted this ring the other day. I'm super proud of this ring. Thing is nuts. Please go watch my ring crafting guide. I just posted it the other day. I want you to understand that crafting rings is not deterministic like it is with amulets. So you kind of got to get lucky here and there, okay? But when you do get lucky, it's worth it. Look at this ring. It's beautiful. It's sick. I love it. Now we're going to the boots. Shout out to my buddy Josh. He crafted these boots for me. I'm pretty sure Belton on YouTube. I will link him down below. He has an insane crafting guide for amulets and boots. So, you know, again, just movement speed, evasion energy shield, reses. You guys know this. You know. Again, res, health, mana. It's fine. The only things that like you really need to worry about that are a little different are, you know, maybe your amulet and your gloves. Everything else just needs the kind of the same basic stuff. Again, you want all the basic things on your armor, evasion energy shield. You know, for me, I got this one because of the dex, because I was struggling with my stats, and I also wanted to get rid of the dex on this. So if you can find something like this, I would say it's definitely worth it. Helmet, you just want as much energy shield as possible on your helmet. Mine also bonus has rarity because we have this node right here. You want more evasion because of the energy shield. It just makes sense, guys. And that's pretty much my gear. I mean, these don't matter too much. You know, you just want like a slow charm, a freeze charm. I'm using the rarity charm because I'm flicker striking, killing everything. Want more rarity. This actually kind of does matter for Ambrosia. If you guys want to test out Ambrosia a little bit more, maybe on flicker strike or with another skill, you need the increased charges gained on your mana flask. So yeah, this just amount recovered, gains charges. You know, it's all easy, guys. Easy peasy. Now, a couple things I will want to note. If you want to boss with flicker strike, it's a little different. Okay, if you really want to boss with flicker strike, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a weapon swap with this, a skeletal warrior minion. Just get something with cast speed for like a wand. You get skeletal warriors, get as high, like as many as your power charges are. So I can go up to 6, but I got 7. It's fine. And then you want to use a skill gem called Sacrifice. It is a spirit skill gem. Skills can use your undead reviving minions in place of corpses. So you would use this. You would use Profane Ritual. And pretty much what you would do is you would just take out 2 of your heralds and place these in. You know, and Profane Ritual, you'd use the same stuff as you'd be using in Reaper's Invocation, except for the energy, of course. You use these 3. And pretty much you just weapon swap, and then you Profane Ritual, eat all this, and then just go kill the boss. You'd also use Infernal Cry. That will buff up your damage a bunch. But like I said, this build is not really for bossing. It's just to make mapping more fun and enjoyable and quicker. You know, like I said, I saw a bunch of flicker guides, and they were all so like weird, and you need this and that and very specific things. I just wanted to use flicker because it's fun and it kills shit fast, and I also didn't want to commit my entire build to it. So if you guys felt the same way, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Check me out live. I'm live every day on Twitch and YouTube. Please come hang out with me. I love talking to people. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all. Check out my other videos. See you later. Peace.